Okay, now I'm going to show you guys the events that triggered starting with when I went to go see the location where my mom had passed at, like her apartment. My aunt's there now, and she's trying to stay there at that location. So I went and visited her, hung out, and then when I came back, it like triggered stuff, man. Learning all this stuff about my mom and my brother, because they weren't completely honest with me about things, and make sure my volume's not too high on this thing. Shouldn't be. Nah, it's pretty high. That's pretty fucking high. Yeah, I was there, and I learned a lot about them that I didn't know, and yeah. Also, I learned certain things about myself, and yeah, when I got back, like the next day, I actually met somebody significant. Like, and I hung out with them. Like, just so happened to meet a young lady or whatnot, right? And on that same day, all kinds of stuff triggered. When I got back, it was like I was better for some reason. Like, I didn't really do much those 2 days, but I did trigger things. Not just when I create powers, just like events in my life, or also like key tones and all that. I told y'all exactly 10 years ago. Started my ministry starting tomorrow on the 15th. I'm expecting maybe something to happen tomorrow. But there was a 7.0 earthquake today, and so I predicted another one of those, just like down here when I amplified the angels. And then there was actually not too long before the 7.0 we just had again, there was another 4.5 to 4.9 at California. And that's actually one of my more popular videos, is this one up here warning people about a possible quake there. Well, you had two of them. I predicted both of them technically, because they've been all in this 2 weeks that I posted this up. But he warned about a month ahead of time because he saw it was locked and loaded. It's like if it doesn't release its energy, it's more likely going to be a big quake. And you're lucky, like I said, you got two smaller quakes like 4.5, 4.9, instead of a really big one. So it released some more pressure. And this is in the Arena of Valor. I talk about my visit. It was kind of lagging, and then I fixed the graphics in this one, the one at the bottom right there, Arena Road to Master. I had a whole bunch of gameplay in there, and I fixed the graphics so it was running really smooth. You can see in there it was running really smooth. And then this one at the top, it started lagging. You can see it started lagging again, because what happened was when I came back, they started kind of trying to sabotage me. And like they deleted games. Like I could show you on my YouTube real quick. Like they deleted games, like games that I used to play. And I just found out the hard way. Like I got on and couldn't get on the game. I was like, what's going on? I'm thinking my shit is just broke, because that happened. Then I get lagged as soon as I got the master. Like they knew I was gonna keep winning. See, I haven't even posted this because I wasn't sure if I was gonna reset, and I did end up resetting on the 14th. Not surprised. And then it triggered some big stuff because I made copies and all that and expanded the power. Listen, watch how laggy it gets.
Yeah, they did me dirty, bro.
Mm-hmm. Look
I
how
don't know what
laggy.
they did, but
You hear the audio? They can't even just do that.
been lagging ever since.
It's like phasing.
Master.
It's like stuttering the audio. You can hear.
Like a lot of games just stopped playing that day. Like I told you, like they was making it
See how
hard
it's
to do
laggy
certain
right
things.
there? They had knocked
Like they made it so this game I went on it,
Now it doesn't work
and
on my
now all of a
device.
sudden it doesn't work for my device or whatever. They're saying I need an update, right? Like slow down the machine. Still a little right, but I was gonna say. Update, right? The update.
You can hear the stutters in it way more now. My frame per second was at like 5 to 10.
Since it's not supported on my device anymore. That's how they get. That's like I tell you, they show now. I show them I'm real good at this shit. Like better than everybody, clowning everything. The hardest stages on the game, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now that's their change. I can't play anymore, right?
That's the way they stopped me.
Same day they tried to fuck with my notepad up there. Had to get the second one.
Like I was telling you,
that one too. And then Shellfire, the game I'm ranked 1 in the world at.
Just disappears.
This is why I have to reset my system. Or reset my system. I'm not gonna fix that. They just completely blacklist me from the other game. It'll probably make this game work though. If this game's not gonna work, I've already deleted cache, deleted the stores, all that.
I found out later they deleted it from the fucking store. It's gone. Like literally all in the same day they fucked my notepad to try to stop me. And I decided to create that new enhancement. And you're gonna see how they amplified. The UFOs are hugely amplified. She didn't show it on other spectrums, but without even showing the other spectrums, you can see the amplifiers are on a whole nother level. Because like I told you, I created a whole nother level of amplification. Whole nother level. New level of amplification, multiplication begins. That's the real great things are on the way. That's what I was talking about. And then before that, I took a couple of days, like I told you, because of those things I was doing. Like that's really from here, which triggers pretty much all the stuff in this video. And I was talking about how I was increasing here too. And I was just increasing through this whole period pretty much, except for like the days I was gone. Like on the 5th, it was a Thursday instead of a Tuesday, because when I told her I couldn't come on Tuesday because I had to go to Memorial, that was stuff triggering on that too on the 2nd. And then I improved on the 3rd, and then I did some kind of real big improvement on the 7th, and then some big stuff that happened on the 7th. But the real topic of this is stuff that started with the new level of amplification. Then, like, I couldn't really do nothing for a while after that too, because I was working on that. That's why we had steady C flares. Like an infinite C flare was just unwinding, and it started at the peak with what I did, and then it started unwinding, and then I reset. And let's see what happened from all that in a sec. I'm gonna get to that in a sec. Just trying to get you to understand where I'm coming from before I start to show footage and all that, and I sit back and just let it play. So you'll see the amplifications when she shows the fleet. The numbers are bigger. People are talking about it too, like seeing them all over the place. You'll see the events that happen. Created the first blazer ever, which is when what is it called? A black hole is pointed directly at Earth to the point where you can actually see its light. It looks like an ultra bright instead of being black, because none of them are usually pointed at us. It's the first one ever. And yeah, it's what I do, and it's like heavenly signs. And I'm teaming up throughout here, so like that's pretty much what that's about. Now you understand that. So anything else in this one I wanted to show you? That game disappeared, and then
they really bad because I was on
they lagged me on this one. Now I tried to
my old my other benchmark. I got a new one now.
Oh yeah, they then the frames per second is like way better now. It's like around 40 on average, like it's a high. Should be hitting higher than 40, I think. Still holding me back, and then it was lagging, so I was like, you know what, fuck that. I'm just gonna reset. I'm not sure y'all are even gonna see that though. And now I'll get to showing you the fleets and all that. I'll show you some of the earlier versions of the fleets back here. So you can see how they amplified. I showed the proof of me amplifying. I'll show the old version, the newer version, all the spectrums and stuff in this video. So right here. And then I'm gonna give you a little preview of that so you can see what they look like, and then I'm gonna jump into the newer stuff. I didn't even know I was showing proof of this video. That's the funny thing. I'm sure it'll load. Because I already had, look. See how they look? That's the amplifier.
You see the energy around them. That's this woman that had near-death experience said that she saw in the angels.
Yeah, they had like this aura around
The
them.
white horse.
The white horse, yeah. This is when I first started to amplify. Like, those are the regular ones, right? Non-amplified. See how they're not luminous? And then the amplifiers are those luminous
Yeah, you see
ones.
the difference now.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing in
Those weren't there last time.
Exactly, you see?
Those really big ones that are fully illuminated.
They're enhancing the
But the
other
other ones, that's why it's different. Even though I was supposed to, she wanted me to come on Tuesday.
Yeah, the Tuesday stuff happened too. Like, I went to the memorial, I rebuked them. Cause it was
See the energy though. Amplifier.
amplifiers, too. Even
Amplifying the other ones, that's why it's different.
see.
They're more illuminated.
And then
They
you get
have
this,
all.
I'd show the amplifier in there.
I got no choice.
And then
Oh,
there's
yeah.
the more amplified version. They got even more amplified.
Because that's when I'm usually, you know, playing around, having fun. You found another fleet? Are you kidding me? No, I gotta see this.
Yeah, this is when I first. It happened real time in the video. Like, I triggered it real time.
Kidding me?
Because I had done some improvements that day.
Wow,
too.
27 views. Wow, y'all see this first time with me?
Yeah,
First time seeing it too.
not my first time this time, but yeah. And then watch how amplified
Wow.
they get. Watch. They're going back to
Look
other
at the
directions.
timing. 111. Wow.
They're coming back the other direction. And then look
Oh
how
my God, look at the fleet is even more. Wow.
Yeah, I made a whole bunch of amplifiers.
They're getting more intricate every time, bro.
Amplifiers mostly in the back, dude.
Oh my God, that's the exact same fleet. Wow, bro, I really won, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They just cruising, bro. Ain't nobody fucking with them.
Nope.
This is building strong and strong. I told you, bro.
Mm-hmm. Wait till you see the new version.
How the fuck can I call that, bro? I amplified them big. That's where the amplifier is now.
Remember how they look right here? Yeah, and
I can see its energy. They're all like, the other angels are like intertwined with it now.
I called it right there. I was like, they're in the back. Wow, so that's much right. It's gonna be hard to get it exact.
Wow, bro, I really won, huh? They just cruising, bro. Ain't nobody fucking with them. This is building strong and strong. I told you, bro.
Watch the back part. I said.
How the fuck can I call that, bro? I amplified them big. That's where the amplifier is now, bet in the back. I can see its energy. They're all like, the other angels are like intertwined with it now, because that's one of the things I changed. I got rid of, I don't have just one amplifier now. I amplified all of them. All my old ones, I amplified.
And I got a whole bunch of amplifiers.
Wow, I can't wait to see the amplifier. Yep, right in the middle.
That's why I call them amplifiers. That's why they're in the midst of the angel. You're gonna see them bigger. Wait till you see them on the spectrum.
That's so cool.
I just wanted to. I ended up going back in the powers to show y'all that it's multiple. You'll be able to see them on the next spectrum.
I can see the outline.
Yeah, I can clearly.
I can see the outline as electricity.
I can already see it right there, but you'll see it in this one, your own eyes, like really clear here.
Wow, this is so cool.
Watch how dim the other ones are.
They did
still.
exactly what I said to do.
You see?
Yep.
Amplifier.
Yeah, the amplifier's in there. You can see by the colors. They got full illumination. You can see it.
Full
Just
cow.
broken in like infinite pieces because I made more amplifiers.
You see?
I made a whole bunch of.
You see? I even told you right there. I made more of them. Made a whole bunch of amplifiers. I wasn't making nothing up. And now you'll get to see. There's a lot more fleet footage in there. And now you get to just kind of see some of the new stuff. It's all these heavenly signs that happen. It's all stuff that lines up on these dates. Pay attention to the dates I've already mentioned. It's pretty much all through this time frame, but I'll try and remind you, like for example, Pink Moon, the Fleet, all this is starting on like the 3rd and the 4th when I did this plus thing right here. But also this is because on the 4th, that's when I went to see my the location where my mom passed. It was the Thursday. Tuesday was important as well, which is the 2nd, and the feast was a feast day and all that stuff. And I made the video about it, like I said, bringing up my mom and all that. I already showed that on my page. And then meeting the woman on the 5th, the very next day. And then on the 6th, I was doing stuff too. Like, that's when I realized that I was really strong and they was trying to stop me. And then on the 7th, I pushed back with some kind of improvement. I'm not sure what it was. And then on the 9th, I really conceptualized the great improvement you're going to see in the later part of this video. This is just like trying to summarize and get all this together before I start showing you stuff, because I don't like to talk, because I want you to understand, and then you're going to see all this stuff happen in order now. I don't want to mess with the mood, you know what I mean? Let's start with the Fleet. Look at the date, the 4th, right? Forever 4th. That very Thursday, right? Or is that? No, it was Tuesday. So I got the numbers wrong. That's why all this shit started on that day, because that was Memorial Day. Let me turn this up. Wow, I can't even get this wrong. I was wondering why I was like, why would it be on Tuesday? I mean, not Tuesday, it's 2nd. For some reason, I remember something happened on the 2nd though. It was Palm Sunday. Yep. 2 days before it. Yeah, I remember there was stuff that happened on that too. That's why I brought that up on my I can't get this. I can't forget it because it's so intertwined. You see, where you're gonna see it in the video, and I said as it's still increasing in my last video. Palm Sunday, I fasted all day and night yesterday till today. It's a feast day. Eat really well. I subconsciously did that. If you knew my videos, you'll know that I ended up doing that subconsciously. And then that's on what was it, the Tuesday? Everything kicked up. Like everything kicked up. That's when the Fleet popped up. Wow. I told them I was in the gates, man. I told them. I knew that's what it was about, because Tuesday is related to that. And I remember the Fleet popped up on that day too. I'm pretty sure one of those fleets popped up on Tuesday or Sunday. They kept showing up over and over again, to the point where she used to have no footage of them, hardly ever have getting to that point. But now it's just happening all the time. She calling fleets real big fleets, like small fleets. I'm laughing. I'm like, that's small to you? That's spoiled, you know. And then they pop out of nowhere here. I'm just gonna get to that real quick. Wow, that's so cool. Tuesday, and then she posted on the 6th, the Thursday, and then so I met the chick on the 7th. Wow, that was really cool. Lucky 7. This is small fleets to her now. Like it's clearly one of the fleets. Not too much enhancing going on. It looks like they're to the south of the camera. That's why she thinks they're small. But it's clearly a decent amount of them. It's just they're to the south, because they don't go anywhere in small numbers. If I saw the mass of them towards the center of the camera, then I would understand it's a smaller fleet. But I think that's just the edge of them. Remember, this all builds up, you know. What you see, they don't even got no amplifiers on the camera, but they're more illuminated now. It almost looks like they're actually amplifiers themselves. And maybe they're just so amplified they can kind of stay at a distance. This is just the beginning of the fun part, showing all this footage. Take a toke with me and get some wine. That's the army of guys realer than a heart attack, I'll tell you that. I'm gonna have a treat tonight. It's like the same amount of footage I've showed in the past, all compiled into one little something something. And they appear here the very same day. You see the 4th. Look, when he posts this on the 4th. I made the increase on the 3rd, but I was really doing shit since the 2nd, and even before that. So I'm assuming it's all within that time frame. And if you see my earlier footages, you'll see that there's this kind of movement going on with them. You'll see it in the background, that's what they're looking at. They're actually seeing it clear for some reason. And then there's the ones that are looking like a rolling group that you're gonna see as looks like more like UFOs. The ones that look like UFOs and is the ones that are in the background that look like what you're about to see. The ones in the background are the ones at war, I believe. Because they're moving around like they're at war. That's what it looks like to me. And I see them in a lot of videos. People ask what they are, and I'm trying to tell you what they more than likely are. You'll see, like, let's see in this video.
Here we go. This video has narration by the viewers that noticed these bright lights in the sky, and the viewers were Clint and Gina, and here we go.
Smooth as butter. People don't even know what's going on. There's even way more than that going on in the background you can't see.
No.
Constantly.
It can't be drones either.
Look at it. That's like...
That is so weird.
Like I tell you, the power, it doesn't fade. You need that kind of power for constant warfare of this kind of scale. From when the heaven to the earth, on the other side. One end of earth to the other end of earth. One end of heaven to the other end of heaven. Earth's actually bigger though, because it's inside of earth. Earth's like a firmament too. Did you know that? God created the earth and the heavens. God created the earth and the heavens. There's a division between night and day. The earth and the heavens. The firmament. Earth's a firmament. Divide the waters above and the waters below. There's a firmament below. It's a layer. While the planets align up with these layers that they detected inside the earth. And then we created a new layer inside there. New core, new inner core. Right where my mom had all these eclipses and stuff. Got a hybrid eclipse coming. 420. Forever forward. 2 witnesses. That's why on my page I got the 2222. The 2 forms of life, spiritual and physical. And I got the 444. It's a 7. Forever 4. It all began with the 4, the 4 spirits of God.
No. And it
Guess
can't
what?
be drones either.
No, look at it. That's like
I'm just kidding.
That is so weird.
Mm-hmm. Funny how this is happening everywhere. Balloons seen everywhere. Yeah, they're still spotting balloons, by the way. There's 3 of them they're tracking right now. So-called balloons. Just appear out of nowhere, undetected, and they just sit there for days on end. They don't float off coast, they just sit there. And when they float off coast, it's something they probably made. They want you to believe they're in charge, so you fear them instead of God. They want you to serve man instead of God. I chose God. That's why I had the anti-hero. I had to go anti-hero against humanity for God when I was at that, not all humanity, just that particular group of people. On a Tuesday when I was there, and I was at Jehovah's Witness thing with my aunt for communion, because it had been exactly a decade since this all began with me and God. God made his home with me and all this, and the war and all that began. Man, childbirth and trying to sin, that was not trying to let me sin and all that.
Wasn't that wild? What in the world were those things? And as you can tell by their reaction in the video, they were quite taken back by what they saw in the nighttime sky. And this view here was an enhanced view, and you could see even more of these lights in the nighttime sky. Obviously, weren't airplanes; they were way too random.
And then imagine how many you still can't see, sir.
And some of them were way too close together to be airplanes. And besides that, they weren't making any noise, so they weren't helicopters or airplanes. Don't know what these were.
I've already postulated this.
But that was.
Pause. Thank you. I've already postulated this. Are there more angels at night or day? The question I postulated. We'll get to that. Because I've looked at it with forensics, where you'll see more than little mere gimmicks that they use. And I've seen angels behind the clouds, actual structures that they live on, firmaments, the heavens above, if you could call it. It's kind of deep in there, though, so I'm going to assume you've seen that. But are there more angels at day or night? You might want to ask yourself that. Where would it be more necessary? Day or night? Day, you got the sun. They can rest. In the night, the sun's not there. So the angels are more numerous at night, actually, believe it or not. I've seen it. They basically try to mimic the sun. Because the sun really, when it shines in its brilliance, is really a combination of all the suns, all the stars. If you call them all the angels, the glory, in unison with his power. That's how I amplify the angels. That's why I'm the greatest king. Because I make people stronger with me. It's not just about me. When I first started creating this power, I wanted it for myself. And one day I do take it to myself. But yeah, that's why I'm king. Not just because I'm a great gamer. You know, it reminds me of an Ender's game. And here's Blood Moon that lines up with this community. Just looking at with the stunning. This is literally on the day when I went on Tuesday, or when I met the woman. I don't remember which one. And then on the Thursday, this wasn't a Tuesday I met. It was a Thursday when I went to go meet my mom. And I met the lady the next day. It was, how do I say it? It was this odd alignment in heaven on that same Thursday that I've already told y'all about. I mean, so we've seen that. So people that have watched videos in the past are not wasting their time, because I got a lot to cover in this one. Stars of Virgo. My dad was actually Virgo. It was on the 5th. So it was actually the day in between. Or maybe the night of, which is technically the 6th. The day when I was gonna go. On April 6th, see? See, I told you. On that Thursday. And look at that timing. What I tell you, watch the 11s and watch the 7s. And at night. So it's really the 6th. I called it. I've called every single one of these eclipses in the past, like, God knows how long. Always on the 14th or someday I'm doing something. Of course, someone would be barbecuing right now. I have some carbon monoxide mixed into this video, and I love it. Oh yeah, we also have this hybrid moon coming up. Let's see if I can block this stuff a little bit by covering that entrance, but talking about that carbon dioxide. It's only barbecue. Because it is Friday now. This is literally on the same day though. You guys can think that's a coincidence, but the Bible said these would be these heavenly signs, and I can predict them to the day and the hour, sometimes to the minute. I wonder if I get it to the second sometimes too. It'd be really hard to know that though. Guess I could go to more fleet footage. I'm just gonna pause this and get some of these more videos lined up for you. You guys think you can see the whole UFO fleet, huh? Watch this. This chick is sharp. Do you see it yet? Oh yeah, I forgot. 60 frames per second fails on this thing. Because it only really does 40. Maybe 45. Do you see them though? And no, I didn't see it on 1080 or anything. She's sharp. I can see them on the edge right there though. I can see them right there. Yeah, I can see them now. Yeah, I see them. I can see how she almost missed them. That's a big fleet. See how easy it is to hide them though? Imagine how many you're not seeing. That's a lot. She didn't call this a small fleet. I thought she did. She was talking about the other one. Because she was only seeing the edge of it. I think this is still the edge. It's a big fleet now, I believe, personally. Because when you see the amplifiers and how much they've grown, you'll see the stark difference. There's a lot of numbers right here, but it's a big fleet now. It's actually a very big fleet right here. And the biggest I've seen. They're just stepping up type of thing, right? She's fighting real good though. Unbelievable. So many of them. Wonder how many spectrums she's got. Got those labs. Come on. Show's not over till it's over, sir. And another point. What's that over there? Looks like a structure. Probably the ISS or something. Whatever it is hiding a lot of stuff. I've seen these things go from cloud to cloud. Used to think they were like locusts in the bottomless pit. I think some of them are, but it's just angels, you know. Some of them from the bottomless pit. And then some of them are from God. Starting to wonder, because they did pop up when I started doing my thing. I don't know if it's my shadow or me. You know, it's like hard to tell. Yeah, some flares and stuff that happen. A lot of stuff I'm just trying to go through it after I already explained it all. 8 days ago, what was that, the 6th? You can look at the video right here. You ain't gotta look at the when he posted it. Look at when it was happening. It was on the 6th. That's the day, that was the Thursday when we had the heavenly alignment and when this has gotta be 60 hertz too, isn't it? Nope. I was struggling with 720. Nah, I'm not. Really, 720 is struggle? Okay. 480. See, this is after a power watch too. I think they're really doing something to my machine. Like constantly. It's after a power watch, bro. But you should not be struggling on no damn 720p. Yeah, great. Look at this, 480. Can't even do that. How the fuck is this possible? Kidding me? Dude, but 720p? Now it's not doing it. I was doing it before, but not now. But now it's doing it as soon as I press the fucking button to go back in. Literally, like. These dudes are trolling me, bro. There's no way it's just like look at where the fucking loading screen is, and look at this shit go. Let's see if resetting. I mean, not reset, refreshing. If not, I don't give a fuck. This shows more proof of these fuckers messing with my stuff. Cause I'm gonna reset this whole thing, bro. It was still like doing shit like that when it didn't do that before. How pathetic are these freaks? That's how scared they are of me, man. They won't let nobody see me. They won't admit how many views I'm really getting. It's to the point where people are scared to even like bring me on their channel because they know they're gonna get the same treatment. Yeah, it was a big flare there. I was just gonna close that because there's throwing a tussle over that. Hopefully it doesn't happen on this one too. And then there was another big flare 6 days ago. What was that? Let's see. Y'all can come look at these videos yourselves about getting information out, you know. April 8th. So literally the day after when I tried to get playing and they started to sabotage. Like, that's why they want net neutrality, because they can fuck with the internet, like shining people at back doors and things like this device is a Chromebook. It's made by Google. Google's owned by Alphabet. Alphabet is owned by China, a company that lives in China. Usually I could play this on 1080p. This thing doing some other shit, like something that they put into it. Somehow still there. Because, yeah, I could literally have 10, 20 tabs of this shit going for no problem. Stream them all for this thing wasn't being sabotaged. Oh, why isn't this one doing that? I know I got it at least on 720. Was it on like 320, 360? Maybe that's what it needs, 360. We'll see. Just for curiosity. Because these flares, you know, if you've been to my channel, I do this all the time. Come on, give me that 1080. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna show you the difference between the 60 frame. Watch how quick it's just like 3, 2, even with this fucking like streaming shit going on, that's just slowing it down. Fucked up the audio though.
But is the video getting fucked up? No. Audio is pretty bad on this thing, but you see, it's not doing that loading bullshit over and over again. Look where the load is at. Oh, it's barely. Nah, it's way ahead. Something they're doing. And the flare looked like it happened while it was on the other side. Actually not on the other side. It looks like it was shooting to the side of where I'm at. Yeah, to the side. You see, it's on the side. Because it never directly shoots at Earth. Like, I've been doing that for a long time now. And basically this whole year has been a lot of flares, the strongest probably ever. Oh, there goes that thing again. And none of them were pointed at Earth. Like, none of them. Shouldn't you as a logical atheist, if you are atheist, most of my followers I would assume are not, you know, wouldn't they understand that on a ball, there should be a 50% chance of it hitting Earth or going away? Actually, it should be a little bit more than 50% towards Earth, because we're the third closest object. We're the third closest object according to heliocentric beliefs, right? And then even in a confined flat Earth or a ball Earth, not or concave Earth, where we're inside of the ball instead of outside of it, you know, it's still like Earth's the biggest thing, so it should be going towards Earth, right? That's why when I did the strongest aurora borealis ever recorded, I reached down to Florida and Mexico, basically New Mexico and Mexico, and it didn't go nowhere really else except for to the east of us, to Europe a little bit, and then a little bit past to the west coast and all that, a little bit past that, I think, too. They came out of the pole, but mostly the north, because that's why when I did this one increase, they got a crown flare from the sun. They've never seen, like, it's like they usually happen only every 11 years. I told you watch those 11s, but unlike the 7s and 11s, I can also trigger things according to my own accord, you know what I mean? Starting to wonder if this app is causing problems for this stuff. We'll let him talk about these UFOs and stuff that popped up right in front of people again. Some other stuff. So let him chat.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I'm going to take you guys to multiple locations. You're going to see some really cool video footage here of mysterious objects in the daytime sky. We're going to Texas, we're going to Florida, and we're going to an undisclosed location. But first, I want to share with you guys a video out of Kentucky of the moon from April 4th. This was just a few days ago, right before.
I remember seeing this. When it happened, when we came. Like, I saw it start to happen. I'm pretty sure when we came back from the memorial on the 2nd. I saw it just like that. I saw that we were going to have a pink moon and all that before I heard about it from that channel, because that was after this. I remember seeing like a pink color around it and stuff, and that layers and a blue and all that. And that's the same thing he saw in this comment that popped up like around on the 28th. It was the 777 on the 28th, and he just posted that thinking he was slick, not knowing that's my day like usual. And I'm sure I was doing things on that day like usual. It's just hilarious. Forever 4.
Before the full moon, and you can see some very intense rings in the sky.
They even believe this is the month that Jesus was born in, because this is tax season. This is tax season. That's why Easter and all this is really close to the truth. And I remember Easter actually fell on the 7th. Yep. Ironically, interesting.
Around the moon, They say that this is created by pollen, and that very well could be the case as the air is loaded with pollen right now. But either way, very cool video by Laura out of Kentucky. And coming over to the homepage of the website, quick look at the Schumann resonance. You can see the action still continues. There's a little bit of activity in the Schumann, a few spikes here and there. Right now, the origins of that energy are unknown.
You saw how it was really high on the 6th, though. You see, on that day, and then they tried to sabotage me. And then I was just like, okay. Started working against it on the 8th, trying to counter it. That's why on the 7th it was like that dip, because that's when they tried to counter me. That's crazy. Because I came back that day after hanging out with the chick, and wow, that's not where I was good, and they kind of fired me up the next day. But I noticed I was really being sabotaged, and that's when the struggle kind of began. Because they was really afraid of me when I hit Master, bro. Like when I got real close to Master on the 8th, a lot of things were kicking up. They had to try and sabotage the next day. And then that's when you got that real activity that he was showing. He didn't even talk about it.
To the homepage of the website, quick look at the Schumann resonance. You can
those big
see
activity
the action
just
still
before.
Continues. There's a little bit of activity in the
He says it continues. See, there was bigger activity just before.
Schumann, a few spikes here and
You
there.
see?
Right now, the origins of that energy are unknown.
And
In
then
the last 24 hours, we saw
then I kicked it up again. I'm pretty sure I'll bring that up too.
a few small sunspots in the southeastern quadrant. But other than this area right here, the Earth-facing sun.
You see, it's just like magically dissipates when it comes towards the Earth, because real magnetism, they don't understand magnetic field, actually repels. It repels, so that's why it doesn't affect us like that.
The sun is blank. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. Once again, most of the activity is isolated to the northwestern quadrant. You can see a little bit of earthquake activity, the red vertical line.
Yeah, there was some actual activity. He talks about that.
And daytime sky, as you're going to see here in this video, but I wanted to show you guys an example of Chinese lanterns. We get a lot of videos of unusual things in the night and day.
There's no way in hell any of this stuff he's about to show us Chinese lanterns. I'm not wasting my time. Made it all the way over from China, just like that balloon, huh?
Out of Salersville, Kentucky, and here we go. Look at the object right there. See it coming into the field.
Why do you even bring up a fucking balloon when they're clearly moving faster than your fucking fastest jet ski? Like, give me a fucking break, dude. The velocity and the air pressure will rip any fucking balloon apart at that speed. You crazy?
The view from the right, moving very quickly to the left. As you're going to see right here, it dips in behind this big bank of clouds
and then disappears.
Does not. This is the other side of the clouds.
What I tell you, bro? They're living in the clouds, bro. I used to think they were like bad guys or something. Some of them might be, but it's literally the angels of God, and I'm amplifying. I remember they started popping up when I started to really do the amplification on 2013. And they was looking like pyramid UFOs, and there was all these other ones and stuff. I wasn't sure if they were good or bad. They were like pitch black, some of them, and then some were like clouds and stuff. Like maybe good and bad, like forces or whatever. And of course, the music is like doing crackhead stuff right here. Just still being sabotaged. Look at that. Loaded up but paused. See that? That's the kind of shit I'm dealing with, man. Autoed up to fucking 720 so it just could do that bullshit. When I never had this problem with my machine ever, as long as I've had it. Never had that kind of stuff. Pathetic, man. I don't even know how I got there on that one. Guess I started playing on the zone. Yeah, that's the level they'll go to. They'll sabotage you in every way possible. They just reset it this time. Like nothing on my machine. Like nothing. Got got like 70-something% of my little crappy hard drive they gave me open. Like 80, damn near 80%. You see it at the bottom down? 38 gigabytes ain't shit on this thing, but it's what it's got free. Should be no fucking lag on this, bro. Like I was having the shit run steady 40, like good. It would be around 40. It would be at least a steady like 20 or something like that. Somehow, like
Texas,
even though it loads, it
around
can't play.
6:30 p.m. Object
Look
not
at
moving
this.
quite as fast.
Look at
to
that shit.
Central Texas. Here we go. Video footage is from March the 4th of 2023 out of Central Texas around.
Oh, March the what? The 4th? All this is related to that same day that I told y'all stuff was gonna happen. Oh.
6:30 p.m. Object not moving quite as fast as what we just saw in Kentucky, but as you can tell, it's not an airplane or a helicopter. It wasn't making any noise, and it's almost got a tubular, almost a cylinder type shape to it.
Like a rod of iron, like the rod of iron. Rod of iron, you know, a cylinder.
And it's kind of light orange, and it appears to be leaving a vapor trail behind it. Just an unusual observation. Once again, coming out of Central Texas, the object is very low to the ground. It's almost moving in a downward motion. You can see the angle, the orientation is downward, and it looks like a cylinder. Difficult to tell how big it is. I don't know. I'd say maybe 20, 25 feet long, maybe a little bigger. I don't know. It's difficult to tell.
This dude crazy, bro. 25 feet long? More like 25 meters at least. He doesn't understand the perspective. That thing is far as fuck away and it's big. That's why it seems like it's going slow.
Doesn't appear to have wings, and it did not have a tail fin.
Look at it. Shit's far as fuck away. He's crazy.
To the ground, it's almost moving in a downward motion. You can see the angle, the orientation is downward, and it looks like a cylinder. Difficult to tell how big it is. I don't know. I'd say maybe 20, 25 feet long.
Crazy.
Maybe a little bigger. I don't know. It's difficult to tell. Doesn't appear to have wings, and it did not have a tail fin. Good observation there coming out of Texas. I want to take you guys now to the Florida skies. Another mysterious object near the coast of Florida in broad daylight. Video footage by Matt from February 13th out of Jacksonville, Florida.
Y'all gotta jump way back.
2023. Get a look.
February 13th. We already know I was probably doing something, but I'm gonna go look just for the hell of it. 13th, huh? I have no idea. I just want to look for the hell of it. I wasn't expecting them to throw that random shit in there. Marching all through Black History Month. Oh yeah. It's ironic. I do usually kind of thrust forward in that month. How slow this thing's going. Like I wonder if the audio is gonna end up glitching. Yep, I knew February 28th. That way when you see the video later on the 28th, you'll understand what that was about. I'm doing a lot of stuff in February like that. To this day, I feel bad about that quake in Turkey. That shit really fucked with me. Okay. See what's going on at 13. Yep. Absolutely huge improvements. Days and a bit tonight. And now 770 billion for some new commands to destroy anything that harms them. And then what pops up? They're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pop up, and then he's gonna try and pop this video up way later. That's why I keep these posting. That's why they book burn my old page, try and get rid of them dates, but they don't understand. I'm always gonna line up, and I'm gonna keep doing it. That's why I wanted to look, because I know.
This is in the daytime sky, and this one too.
Because I know I'm gonna be lined up. I do that all the time.
It just appeared out of nowhere. And it, like the object in Texas, has got a little bit of a vapor trail behind it. Didn't make any sound, doesn't appear to have wings or a tail fin, not a helicopter.
And that's why they fear me. Because I'm realer than them. not gonna say that saying because negative sound, you know, that heart problem stuff.
Helicopter or an airplane, way too big to be.
What about this? Realer than a heart that's 100% health instead of a, you know, heart attack or whatever. I don't want to say heart attack. Instead, I'm gonna say a heart that's 100% or 1,000% health. Yeah, everything.
Be a drone, I would think. Looks bright white, doesn't have any flashing lights on it, and the object dipped out of the.
It's actually quite a few lights because of the amplifier. I'm assuming. Might not be an amplifier because I don't think I made the amplifiers back there, but it's definitely powerful. Whatever it is, it looks like one. The way it's bursting all the energy off of it.
Not a helicopter or an airplane.
It's too big.
Way too big to be a drone, I would think. Looks bright.
It's literally the object he was just looking at, but at a different time. They both look cylindrical, but now he understands it's way too big to be an airplane or any of that kind of stuff. But there's airplanes that are hundreds of feet big. Hundreds of feet big. Hundreds. But he couldn't understand that other object that was going away, which was further away than this one, and pretty much just as big looking and moving probably even faster, was actually just as big. They look the same to me.
Bright
Look at this
white,
one.
doesn't have any flashing behind
Then
it.
look at this one.
Through the Kentucky sky in here, it dips in behind this big man.
Nah, that's not in the
So
one.
long, usually 2 or 3 minutes.
Look at
It's
that.
superseded behind any. That's the original. It
Nah,
wasn't making any
that's
noise, and it's almost got a tubular,
You see it's even bigger probably actually. Look
almost
at
a
it.
cylinder type shape to it. It's kind of light orange, and it appears to be leaving a vapor trail.
And it's moving even faster than the one right here. It's the same thing though.
Oh, more mysterious space debris, maybe. Didn't really look like an airplane. Definitely.
That's
The
another
viewer,
object.
He says
You see?
the object is not a helicopter or an airplane.
Too big,
Way
though.
too big to be a drone, I would think. Looks
He calls that one too big to be something that's small like he was saying, but actually bigger because it's just bigger than what he said the other object. You got it wrong. They're both big as hell. He admits that right there.
coast to Daytona Beach, Florida. Here we go. More mysterious objects in the daytime
Oh.
sky. Video footage by Doug from March.
Pretty much an echo of the other day, because if it happens on the exact same day a month later, just like all this stuff happened 10 years later from when I started my ministry and all, I predict the boss bomb on the 15th. I'm assuming something's gonna happen on the 15th this year as well. Stuff happened on the 14th today. That could be just that, but we'll see. I'm assuming something could happen. All these echoes and stuff. But that happened exactly a month later. I'm assuming I did something on the page and start. I usually do end up doing something myself too. But there's a natural echo. See, that was the 23rd. 21st. See, the 13th should pop up. Yep, true improvements. True improvements. What time of day was it? Or early in the morning. Just before the 13th though. And on the 14th, early in the day. That was late. Was doing some stuff right around the 13th, but not quite on it. Like the 12th, the 14th. I didn't mean to close that, but it was alright. I'll open it again if I had to. I don't think I'm gonna need it though. I think this is the last random date that I'm gonna have on here. Literally just an echo.
13th of 2023, and this object or objects appear to be falling through the sky.
That could be
visible
one.
from Daytona Beach, Florida. Again, off the coast, leaving a trail behind it like the other objects that we saw. Couldn't tell if this was one object, two objects. I'll leave that up to you guys
This
to
thing just
decide.
can't even pause.
Almost looks like some.
I pressed the goddamn pause button like 1,000 times. I had to press the button down here to pause. This looks like the chemtrailers. It's like a little orb. This looks like UFO and everything like the other one. Could be one of them. I don't know.
the coast, leaving a trail behind it like the other objects that we saw. Couldn't tell if this was one object, two objects. I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. Almost looks like some sort of...
But that looks like the ones that keep self-proliferating, like, which I'm not sure if they're angels of God or bad guys. But it's definitely not a regular plane.
Space debris, maybe? Didn't really look like an airplane. Definitely wasn't a helicopter.
It's an orb.
Looked like some sort of a fiery object moving through the sky along the coast, visible from Daytona Beach, Florida. Here's a couple of enhanced formats I put side by side, again, just looking for any possible features, and could not see anything different than the...
That's their real form. The orb, they could look like other things like airplanes, but airplanes usually won't have wings. I mean, not wings, but windows.
The original video that we saw at the beginning. So there it is again. This is in a slightly modified version. Again, another object off the coast of Florida. Here's yet another one. This one here is ultra high speed video footage sent in by Jesse from March 20th of 2023. Watch right here.
Well, it's 320. This is what they usually look like coming out of the clouds like usual. Let me open that thing. 320. I'm pretty sure it's interesting because we got the 420. On 420, that moon's popping up. I haven't even gotten to that part. Not to really put this in like two parts. It's ridiculous. Only because how slow it is actually. I don't trust it. Acting way too slow. So I was going to point. It's a good question because you got this blood moon kind of on it. It's a hybrid moon. Whatever, if it's an echo or something for biosmoke. Yep. Juggernaut, prosperity, the beginning of Almighty. Yeah, Juggernaut, that was a pretty big improvement. I remember that one. Then it started attacking the demons and stuff. They didn't like that. Almost like just jump into the police after this. So if this video going too long. Look how it's already lagging like balls. Got activity.
Here, this is zoomed in version over here on the left. Look at that thing. That's original speed just appeared out of nowhere. I think he saw it off in the distance and was kind of waiting for it to come out from behind the clouds. Zipped across the sky directly above him at the high noon position, and then went back behind another bank of clouds again and disappeared at an incredibly high rate of speed. And when I zoomed in on this one, you can see a very small set of wings on this thing, but they don't look like classic airplane wings. They're very small. This object here didn't make any noise. Here's the original speed. Once again, I zoomed in on this object and kept it at the same speed because it was so fast. And this object made no sound. That other object you saw right there was just a bird. Notice the small wings on either side. See the small wings there? Way too small to be an airplane. And this thing's probably moving us somewhere in the range of 1,000 miles per hour, give or take a little bit.
Yep.
But that's not an airplane. It wasn't making any noise, wasn't leaving any type of a vapor trail behind it, and then disappeared again behind that row of clouds and did not come out the other side. If it did, it was not visible. So
no sonic boom either.
Video footage of unusual things.
No sonic booms either. Just so you know. There was all this flooding. An earthquake happened again. 4.4, boom 12. I'll show you stuff in 12. Another glancing blow. Oh, I don't even know if I can squeeze all this in here. I'm gonna try though.
Hey, what's up guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I'm going to take you guys up to around 20,000 feet in the air. You're going to see a unidentified object come eerily close to an airplane. Not sure what this is, I'll let you guys decide, but it does look similar to what we saw yesterday. At least it has similarities, about the same size, same color, and definitely has a edge and a dome on it. So could have been the same object for all I know, but we'll come back and take a closer look at that here in just a moment. But first, over here at the homepage of the website, today's featured photo was sent in by Shamey722. Not sure of the location, but that is one photogenic rainbow that was very low to the ground. Taking in on the Schumann resonance, you can see in the last 24 hours been very active. A lot of activity detected in the Schumann resonance.
Told you watch the 7s. And somehow on that 7, like I told you, that's a day I was hanging out with the lady. I was hanging out with her after I visited my family. Like I met her the next day randomly. And there's a lot of Schumann activity, but not a lot of flaring, because like I showed you, I sent it away from Earth, but it's still contained inside of Earth. It's still contained inside of Earth, so we get Schumann at the poles and all that kind of stuff, but probably getting auroras and they didn't even notice it. Solar activity went away because it was inside. It got repelled.
Resonance, looking at the GOES X-ray flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. No major flares in the last 24 hours. Planetary K index reveals the very same thing. Very quiet with regard to solar activity. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano, northwestern quad.
It talks about flooding and stuff like that.
Feet, we're going to see Lake Mead, so they're both starting to go down some after a couple of weeks of positive change. Okay, here we go. We're going up to around 20,000 feet. We're going to see an object similar to this right here come eerily close to an airplane that was flying through the sky. Unidentified object comes eerily close to an airplane. Video footage was shared by Sergio. It was uploaded by JR at WorldStar, and we're up here in the cockpit of an airplane looking out, and they happen to have their camera rolling. I don't know if they were anticipating this object, if they could see it maybe off in the distance, or it was just timing. The object showed up when they had the camera rolling. But you can see they're probably, somewhere in the neighborhood of 15 to 20,000 feet in the sky. And the reason I say that is because at that altitude, this more than likely rules out some sort of a drone that somebody may be using from down on the ground. I think it would be way too high, as you're going to see here in just a second. But watch over here in the distance. You're going to see something show up in the field of view and then come, again, very close to the aircraft. We're going to slow it down, zoom in, and take a closer look at this thing. And as you're going to see, right there it goes. That was probably within 30 feet of that aircraft. Here we zoom in to take a closer look, slow it down just a little bit. We're going to zoom in, slow it down, and make some modifications to the video to get a better look at this thing, trying to pull forward features. Look at that. See how it has similarities to this object yesterday? How it's got the dome on it right there in the middle?
Not even close, buddy. Two different objects. But the interesting part about this is its shape. I remember when I first saw them show up, I saw the smaller units, and I saw the main unit would be this pyramid looking, but it had a pyramid below it as well.
To that aircraft. Here we zoom in to take a closer look, slow it down just a little bit. We're going to zoom in, slow it down, and make some modifications to the video to get a better look at this thing, trying to pull forward features. Look at that.
It's way bigger than it seems. That thing is way bigger than it seems. Not even as close as it seems either.
See how it has similarity? Going to zoom in.
That shit's fucking crazy. Excuse my language.
You're going to see something show up in the field of view.
It could be one of the,
again, very close to the aircraft.
It could be one of the satellites from it, though. I don't know.
We're going to slow it down, zoom in, and take a closer look at this thing. And as you're going to see, right there it goes. That was probably within 30 feet of that aircraft. Here we zoom in to take a closer look, slow it down just a little bit. We're going to zoom in, slow it down, and make some modifications to the video to get a better look at this thing.
30 feet my ass.
thing, trying to pull forward features. Look at that. See how it has similarities to this object yesterday? How it's got
No.
the dome on it right there in the middle, and it's got a clear edge, and it's reflecting light like the object yesterday. They look very similar. It's just at a different orientation. See that? See the dome on the top? The bottom's more of a V shape, and it's got a definite edge on it. Watch right here. Right there. See the edge? Top's got a dome that's reflecting light. I suppose this could be some sort of a balloon, but it's way up in the sky. It's between
Balloon.
probably 3 and 4 miles. And
This guy forgot how fast it was going. It's not shaped like a balloon. It's got two pyramids, two pyramid shapes, one on above, one below. It's a little bit warped because it's moving so fast. This dude doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me see what else he got. There's a good one right here, actually. There's a real good footage he gets right here.
silver or gray, they seem to be reflecting light. Doesn't necessarily guarantee that it's made of metal, but it does right there. You can see right there, see how it's reflecting light, and it has a definite edge there on the side, and it's not being influenced like wobbling
wait till he
around
shows
like
the
you
next
would
one.
think a
This
balloon
one.
would do, especially a balloon like this that has edges on
Balloon.
it. A round balloon, you wouldn't really notice if it was kind of wobbling in the wind, but something like that, you would definitely
That's a cockpit or something like that.
be able to see it, and it kept the same basic position the entire time. This is in slow motion, obviously, and I'm using different formats trying to pull forward various features if there are any, and there didn't seem to be any. It's just a different look at the same video, and again, these are in different formats, and you can
Featureless, but it's very clearly there, like in this, almost like a disc.
see that edge right there. Here in a second, I'm going to pause it and zoom in on the object, whatever it may be. I'll leave it up to you guys to decide. I don't know what this is or was. All I know is it came very close to this aircraft. Right there's the propeller of the airplane. The object came from way off in the distance over here, and it seemed to be moving in a upward motion. Right here's a close-up view of the object, and you can see the
Yeah, it's not in a pitch black one that I saw before. It looked like it when he was riding it, letting it go naturally. Something about his edit that made it look really silver. And then on the 7th, same day, the one part of the video that was related to the 7th, that flaring and all that stuff. Not sure if it was the UFO footage too. Those who watch the 7th. Small. I don't know what small is anymore. This used to be big to her. If you want to call it small, it's hilarious. Look at that dimmer light fall on that one light on the bottom. It kind of dim for a second, and now it's brighter. Something below the ISS that's blocking them until they get past it. Just like in our other video. They're filtering a lot of stuff out. Wait till you see the enhanced version of it when I create the new enhancement, the new amplifier. Because at this point you can see they're not as vibrant because they started trying to sabotage me around that time. At the same time I was chilling. Still see an amplifier fall on them. The outline of it. He was on. They was once again. It's not a small. It's all amplified. Look, that's an amplifier right there. Remember they used to be dim? That's basically an amplifier right there. They all look like amplifiers now, don't they? Yep. One on the bottom looks like amplifier. Remember they used to be dim. For the most part, they're all amplifiers, and that's one down there that kind of hidden. It was clear on that last spectrum. This one's not as clear. hardly see the amplifier. It's like both of them right there. And like they're in like 3 different places at once. Like coming and going. That true 4-dimensional object. Or 5-dimensional. I forget which one. They say it'll look like it's coming and going. Yeah, like the sun. Let's see. I don't really need to show any of that other stuff just yet. I'll just go into it. 4 days ago, it was on the 10th. Now we're starting to get to the more recent stuff. I'll probably be able to wrap it up with the next little pause and then add a few more videos. And hopefully I can get this to under an hour long, but something tells me it's going to be over an hour. Once again, isn't it magical how not pointed at Earth, pointed away from Earth again and again and again, and the only time we're really noticing it when it's because it's something that's about to be facing at Earth, but then as soon as it's facing Earth, it stops doing it. It just quiets up. It's crazy. But it told y'all a long time I was gonna do it. See? The spot that's away. Yeah, let me guess it's gonna quiet up once it does. Even the ones facing Earth are huge. See? Just keeps happening like that. Oh, the 11th, what a surprise, right? Called that too. And these 3 planets have been in alignment for like years now. I remember when they first got aligned up, I predicted it. They just stayed aligned up. Mercury, Earth, and Mars. What is that? Or is that Venus, Earth, and Mars? I can't tell. But they've just been sitting right next to each other for years now. I don't know why nobody doesn't talk about it. I'm gonna wait another year or 2 and then see if they're still there. Because I don't want to have no excuse. I'm just gonna watch you. And then be like, hey, did you guys notice that they're all just lined up constantly now? Right when I said time was gonna stop too. Then the core of the Earth stopped spinning. They created a new inner planet, or inner Earth, or inner core. Spin another direction, all that. Oh, what a surprise! Away from Earth again, huh? Yeah. Real high up in there, like the crown flare, coronal crown. Oh, it's good. Messed up. Look like it's gonna be a little over an hour. I guess I gotta do another set after this. Let's go back to the fleets, right? This is after I amplified them. On the 11th. Actually, this was on the 9th. Sunday the 9th. Is that Easter, really? I don't know about... Yeah, that's Easter. Wow. I think it was a Sunday. That's what I knew the 9 was about. Let's see what we got here. Something about the 9. Might not even posting on it. Oh, here we go. Great things on the way. Yep. That was the day I conceptualized it. I was like, oh, that's what the 9 is about. So we need to watch the 9s from now on, too. Wow. And she posted on 11th. 9/11. Look how enhanced it is now. That's just me conceptualizing it. Look how bright they are now. It's like brighter than the moon. I wish she had shown this on different spectrum, but she didn't. Yeah, she got everything in that 60 frames per second and above. If I do that. It goes right back the other direction, I think. They usually do that. Like they'll go one way and then, nope. Come back the same direction. There's a whole nother fleet, looks like. Now they all look enhanced, bro. Like completely enhanced. Like they got a light coming off them, big light. I wish they had looked at this on a different spectrum, man. That's what I was talking about. You're gonna notice the difference. Like this is the whole nother level of amplifier. This is when they really tried to sabotage me. This is what they were scared of. Then they immediately tried to sabotage me. And I was like, okay, whatever. Kept working on it. The next day was really when they tried to sabotage. Well, the 10th. How they, you know, look at that. That's like way different from how it used to be. You know, that's not classical UFO footage you're seeing right there. That's something completely new. The only new thing under the sun is what I do, pretty much. That's what you're gonna see. That's why Jesus is like, give me the glory we had before the world was. That's the new thing under the sun. This thing that shakes the world and rolls up the heavens and scroll and all that cool stuff. I mean, how y'all not gonna get this? Like, and then they're like, oh, we're going through these dense clouds and stuff. I'm trying to speed up to the rest of this because that UFO footage you just looked at, yeah, that's really what it's about. Probably show it again. There's still much more that I did. Very active part of space. Funny, I never heard about this until just now. Kind of echo. I'll tell you about those echoes. And literally a day ago. Now they're talking about the sun's global magnetic field. It's about to flip. I mean, like maybe how the Earth just flipped, like the poles. I mean, the inner core stopped spinning and all that. Now we got a new inner core. All that dust is going on inside of the sun too. sped up because it's a long video for one topic. I did the same thing for the last one. They were both a little longer than they should have been. But these are kind of big things going on, but yeah, I do this all the time. So. I make a video for like 1 week and then it's this much I gotta talk about. Yeah, I remember this. That blue line is what they expected, but because of what I did, I ended the last cycle way earlier and started ours much earlier than they expected. That's what the red one is. That's what they're expecting because of what I did. Blue is what they were expecting before. And yeah, quite a while from the peak. Speeding things up, as you can say, as the Bible says it happens. Looks like DNA. Yeah, I remember this old video here. Terminator. 777 21 12 13. Terminator Court. Truman Court. It's so funny because anybody that knows me knows what that 1213 is. Anybody that really knows me knows what that 1213 is. Not only is it an address, it's a time frame that was basically like the end of the world as we knew it, as they call it, but it really happened 7 years later, 2019. The Comet Ison came in 2013, which is one of the other ones that could have been it as well. There was one that was like 1 year behind, and there was another one 7. 2014. 7 plus 10. The Echo. And we're nowhere near the peak according to your graph that I created by speeding things up, and nowhere near what y'all were expecting until I sped things up. I think this is something I was doing worse than this at the minimum of last cycle. Nowhere near the peak. They just be making up shit. It's like whatever the hell God wants to do, that's what it is. That flip should have been happening. I basically sped it up for him because you saw how the max is really in 25. It was in 2025. They're expecting it just as like basically at the beginning of 24. We go next one.
April the 13th, 2023. As you're looking at images from yesterday, all throughout last night, and into this morning. Now, you saw the low pressure system that was setting off the coast last night, and now you can see all the moisture pushing up into Mississippi and Alabama, Louisiana. But right as this loop begins, you're going to start seeing a lot of rain pulling off of Florida here, right there. Guys, Miami and Fort Lauderdale got 25 point something inches in 7 hours, 1,000-year record. And there were two low pressure systems that just kept sitting there in the same area for all that time. There are cars flooding down the roads, the airports are flooded, buses are flooded. I don't know how many thousands and thousands of cars will have to be either insurance or whatever, or salvaged. But a disaster down there again. People on buses were coming in them, abandoned cars. We'll take a look at that. But if you, it's kind of hard to comprehend 25 inches in 7 hours. That's exactly what they're dealing with. That low pressure that we were seeing off the coast right now is setting over Gulf Shores and Purdue Key, Florida, in that area. Gulf Shores, Alabama, Orange.
Remember, he said in the 7 hours. I told you watch the 7. Look at the title. Look at the title of the video. In 7 hours, right? What's 25? What's 25 inches, right? What's 2 plus 5? It's 7. 7. Basically 7 inches, 25 inches of rain is 7 hours. The most in 2,000 years that they've ever, like, this probably ever. That's the real outpouring, right?
Beach, Perdido. Got it setting right over the center, and it's throwing all this moisture over us here. It's raining. I'm not sure if you can hear it on this metal roof or not. This report says breaking massive flooding in Fort Lauderdale causes the airport to close. A man captured in video swimming in busy streets to safety. 15 to 20 inches of rainfall in 7 hours. Now, this notice your timestamp came in at 1 a.m.
This is when I had to start working on the reset. It caused such a difference in the location where I was at, because the void of me working on this and also the increasing at the same time, it was such a weird differential though, because it was like being in the process of being reset, right? I really reset it late the 13th, but at this point I was working on improving it and stuff, but there was a void because of how much it had been, harmed. People don't know it when you get your memory, your SSD, you use up a certain amount, you get it to like just 5%, 10% left. You're stuck at 5% or 10% until you reset it, because the way the SSD works, it leaves the data there. The data is still there, so it's not really free. It just leaves it open to be turned into something else. So you want to be careful not to get things too low. That's what was happening. It always happens when I get it like that. I would delete things when they make no difference, because I have to basically put more things on there to fill up those spaces that were already full, which would leave me with the same location. The same amount of data. You don't want to get below like a certain amount, because once it's below that, it's kind of permanently below it.
This morning.
It's not like an old hard drive.
And other reports, in only 7 hours, 16 inches of rain has fallen in Fort Lauderdale.
7 hours.
Flash floods, where flash floods are wreaking havoc on the Fort Lauderdale airport, which has now been closed, and in the downtown area, vehicles can be seen floating down the streets. Guys, it is starting to get daylight here now. It's overcast, still rainy.
Forgive me.
7:24. I've been up since about 6, looking at the different information coming in. But I just want to click and show you a couple of the images. This is one video coming in from Fort Lauderdale. I'm going to back up. Almost looks like a hurricane.
Like I told you, I attract the water to me. That's how I ended the drought in California. It was being pulled from over there to me. Now it seems to be going more directly at me, especially north to south, it seems. And that's what happened with Florida. I'm pretty much 1,000% sure it's like just south of here. Like, they were enjoying 80-degree weather while California was freezing, negative degree weather. 141-degree
Water
difference.
is almost to my hood. Just show my glass that I'm not coming into my
That goes help us.
They probably ended up with California's rain and everything.
Guys, again, some of this is coming in from different sources, Raw News Alert and others, but I've seen hurricanes come in and not drop 25 inches of rain.
Nothing did. Nothing did. It's the strongest in the past 2,000 years. That means the strongest ever, really, because they can't really even keep a clear record that far back. Just like that was the strongest aurora I did ever, and so on and so forth. That's what I do. First ever. what I do.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everybody's doing well and having a great day. In this video, I'm gonna take you guys up to the International Space Station. Joe out of Spokane, Washington has submitted a video of two different things. The ISS has a very close encounter with a high-speed object, and then you're going to see what looks like a blue comet off in the distance, visible from the International Space Station. Also want to give you guys an update on the flooding situation down in the Fort Lauderdale, Florida area in southeast Florida. Last night, there was nearly 25 to 30 inches of rain, depending on where.
Now you see why I was trying real quick to try and get the reset done, because you never know what kind of weirdness could happen because of the absence of that kind of stuff. I was quick to get it back up. It was funny because in the Twilight Zone they had something like this guy that was like keeping everything together with these little simple things like how I do.
Where you go, that fell in the Fort Lauderdale area. I found some footage over here at windy.com of various cameras in the Fort Lauderdale area where the majority of the rain fell. Again, it depends on where you go. Some locations got 25 inches, maybe 20. Some are saying nearly 30 inches of rain. Some of the roads near Fort Lauderdale filled up with water last night very quickly. Some motorists actually left their cars in the middle of the road. This is a still image from Broward Boulevard in Fort Lauderdale, and you can see water has completely engulfed this road, and this was at 9:55 p.m. when the rain was the heaviest in the Fort Lauderdale area. Here's another view from the Broward Boulevard Road in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. These cars here were also stranded. This was just after midnight as the water was continuing to pile up on several.
The interesting thing is there's that immortal comet. I believe is the reason we're going through that debris that they were talking about. They think it's like just like a part of the galaxy or whatever, but it's really the Milky Way in my opinion. It's full of debris and stuff, and it goes north to south. That's really where that ultimate comet that began time and space, the one that has light itself, that's immortal. Like, that comet literally grabbed everything, like how I was able to pull the black hole stuff towards Elsa. That comet, like, it warped our world in a way you wouldn't even be able to comprehend.
Several roads in the Fort Lauderdale area, and here's a view from this morning. This camera is also on
That's what you call the Milky
Boulevard.
Way.
You can see the water has retreated
the biggest visible thing
off of the boulevard, but still very.
Let me just summarize this. It's what you call the Milky Way. It's the biggest visible thing you can see in your sky. It goes north to south. I think that's what we're seeing, kind of like. I think my power goes like north to south through the axis a lot, especially towards the sun.
Very
to the
heavy,
south right now.
a lot of congestion on that road, and so much rain fell in a very short period of time that it flooded the Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. It is closed right now and will be closed for the rest of the day. That is definitely not something you typically hear of following a round of thunderstorms, maybe after a hurricane, but a thunderstorm that went through the area. And I followed the thunderstorm over here at zoom.earth, and you can see the storm as it was moving through the area.
Yeah, flooded.
This is on the 12th, all day on the 12th, and you can see there was definitely rain.
Yeah, that's a good example of global warming if they want to ever give you one. Because, you know, because of the energy and all that, basically melted so much water and ended up like on the land, I guess you could say. That could be a possibility, but I know it's just me like usual. It didn't happen to the western here, it happened here. It always points directly at me when I pulled it from the
Fort
west coast.
Lauderdale for about 24 hours, albeit light rain, but that rain accumulated as it was a steady rain. Once again, for the better part of 24 hours straight, accumulating up to 25 to 30 inches of rain. Coming over to the homepage of the website, today's featured photo was sent in by Rachel out of Las Vegas, Nevada, of a fiery orange sky. That was the photo, and here's a video of that spectacular, very photogenic sky. She was outside filming the sky. And
when was that again? Let's see.
Of a fiery orange sky. That was the photo.
No
and
time.
Here's a video of that spectacular, very photogenic sky. She was outside filming the sky, and so were her neighbors. Check this out. They were over filming the sky as well. Right here across the street, you can see a couple of guys right there. Look, they were also outside drawn to that beautiful sky above Las Vegas, Nevada, and I believe that was from last night. Thank you, Rachel. Greatly appreciate that. Checking in on the GOES X-Ray Flux over here at the Space Weather Prediction Center. You can see in the last 48 hours, the energy coming off the sun, the Earth-facing side of the sun, has been a steady C-class solar flare type.
Because once I created the power, I believe it was on the 11th or something like that. When I did that, it was steadily running because they tried to sabotage me on that day. And it was just unwinding. Let's see when it was. It was on the 10th/11th, I'll see. And they tried to sabotage. Yep, it was basically around that time. Reset was 13/14. Really the night of the, all through the earlier part of the 13th to the 14th. I was working on it hard, I'll tell you, it was annoying. Alright, come on, let's get this over. Let's get this.
Type of energy, no major flares
It's
at
up
the
there.
current time. Coming over here to poweroutage.us, you can see right now for some reason up in Ohio, and I don't believe it's weather related. The last weather map I saw showed clear skies up here in the area. But right now there's just over 11,000 customers without electricity in Ohio, and looking at just over 11,000 customers in California without electricity. Hopping over to the Yellowstone supervolcano caldera, looking at the seismographs that monitor the mighty supervolcano. A little bit of earthquake activity showing up on the seismographs. The red line you see on these seismographs that just occurred within the last 2 hours is from the 6.0 magnitude earthquake that just occurred off the coast of Canada. But other
Yeah, I forgot I hit Canada with earthquake apparently. There's another earthquake in California. 4.5s, they released some pressure in California. Because California needed that. Like, yeah, this is the second one. It's almost a 5.0. And then the earlier one I showed y'all in the earlier part of the video as well. I think it was in that video about the unrest, yeah. It was in this one, I'm pretty sure. I'll go to it just to. I should just open it in a whole nother. Yeah, California 4.5, so. Right there in the bottom right corner of the title. But there were a whole bunch of 6.0s and stuff too. That's what I do. Nobody wants to hear that corny music, motherfucker. You want to hear my cool music. I like that jungle sound of music. It should sound cool to me. I should be able to do 720 on his video. It's not 60 frames at the same time. This thing really only does like 40. I tell you, be front like it can do 60, but it doesn't. And then the balloons I was telling you about. Watch this shit. They still tracking. There's more of them. Watch this shit.
here in southeastern Arizona, they are still there. They're not visible from my location. I do have a video I'm going to share with you guys here in a little while from Nick out of Tucson, who happened to see this balloon right there in the daytime sky, and he was able to get a pretty close-up view of that balloon. But they're still there. There's 3 balloons that have been there now for 5 days in a row.
What's 5 days
ago? Take you guys now to Indiana. Remember
we gotta know what 5 days
to evacuate is. He could see some sort of particulates falling above his house.
So 5 days ago. Today is what, 14th, the 9th? Around that time, I'm guessing. But he posted this a little while ago, so around that 9th or 8th maybe. Let's see, when did he post this again? Let's make sure. 20 hours ago, so it was like the 13th, like I said. When that guy posted that video that he's talking about. 13 minus 5, that's what, 8? We already know what happened on the 7th. So they popped up on the 7th off that. Yep. I did stuff on the 9th. I don't know, maybe it was like the heavens declaring what I'm doing ahead of time. It might have started technically a little ahead of time. But the absolute power probably led to me making another big improvement to great. Great things on the way. Pretty sure that's all it was. I thought I had paused. Let me just get this going. Yeah, like usual. I had no prediction.
It's coming down to the ground. I think we gotta evacuate.
He said he thinks they have to evacuate, and this was as he was right under that big smoke plume. And as you heard him say in the video, things were falling down to the ground coming out of that large smoke plume that was above Richmond, Indiana. Thank you, Damon. Appreciate the video footage. I want to take you guys now up to the International Space Station. Here we go. Video footage submitted by Joe out of Spokane, Washington. Video footage was recorded on February 28th, 2023
Remember?
at 2:45.
Remember the 28th? Remember the 28th? I showed you that on February on my Twitter earlier. I was like, you're gonna need to remember that for later on. And here you go. That's what happened. Remember, it's 77774. 47.
p.m. And this is the location of the space station as Joe first noticed this high-speed object enter the field of view from the upper right and exits down here in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. Check this out. This thing came very close to the space station. All right, check this out. Here it comes, right up in here. You're going to see it go very quickly across the screen. I slow it down, zoom in, and you really can't see a whole lot more than what we saw in the original clip. That was slowed down by a factor of 5.
That's like tens of thousands of miles per hour. That's what that is. Maybe 100.
Here I slowed it down by a factor of
Really
20.
fast.
And there's the object right there, whatever it may be. See how close it was to the space station? That was definitely a very close call. Okay, also on the same day, watch in the upper right-hand corner, you're going to see something enter the field of view. And as I zoom in on it, you're going to be able to see
Same
the
there.
colors. It looks like a fiery orange object with a blue tail. Very bizarre. I've never seen anything like this on the International Space Station live cam. Almost looks like some sort of a comet, maybe an asteroid. I have no idea.
It's a comet.
Again, this one's a first for me. Joe happened to notice this
Comet.
on February the 28th. I'm zooming in on the object. This is the original speed, and you can see it's
Whole
getting
sucks.
brighter and brighter. The head of this thing looks to be orange, and the tail looks to be blue. That's about all you can see right here. Don't know what this was. Again, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. This goes back to February the
Looks like something's on the left side of it in the picture too.
28th. And
See, I don't
there's
know.
the object right there.
You see it on the side of it though? Why?
There's a good. That's
It's like something on the side.
about all. This is the original speed, and
On
you
the
can
left
see it's
side.
getting brighter and brighter. The head of this thing looks to be orange, and the tail looks to be blue.
You see it
about
right
all
there.
You can see right here. Don't know
Right
what this
there.
was. Again, I'll leave that up to you guys to decide. This goes back to February the
You see it right there on the side, on the left side right there? It's like a little glow. It's like maybe more than one object. It's reflecting on the perimeter or something.
period where the camera changed orientation. This is a still image of the object right there. And see how the tip of it's kind of an orange
Come on, man.
color, and the tail turns into a bluish green, and then there it disappeared. The
Let's
camera
say light
switched
for no
orientation.
some reason.
Here's a slow motion view of the video right there, and there it is, an orange-blue comet-like object in the field of view of the International Space Station. You guys have any photos you'd like to share, you can send those to reports at MrMBB333.com. If you guys have any videos you'd like to share that won't attach to the email for whatever reason, come over here to the homepage
Could
of
be
the
good enough.
website, look for this red banner that says Have a Large Video. Simply click on the red banner, drag and drop your video into the red tab. Please include your first name, date, and location.
Still hitting
And I'll
bad.
take it from there. Thanks for watching. Have a super day, and be safe out there.
And then there's this cool thing right here. The rest is pretty much footage you already seen. The hybrid eclipse. This happens once in like 100 years. It's happening on 420. You see April 20th. Pretty much everybody gets to see something. To me, this means that this is like a sign that God, the whole world's gonna see. Probably due to even more perfected alignment between the objects that create it. Probably because absolute perfection in their alignment. And then look at the 2-5, and then the 2-3, and the 7. Interesting. A lot of interesting numbers in that. And then 5-5-6 at the other. But it should be 5-5-7. Oh, it is. That's it. Doesn't last that long apparently. It's like a minute. Or actually, several hours actually. A 1 minute difference. Huh? Oh yeah, there's a 1 minute of totality. Alright. A lot of 7s in that too. Got the 4 and 4s too. Interesting. The red and the blue face. This could be because I was like no winter weather. I created this power to like reverse like winter weather. But I also did create a chilling effect for my CPU because it was getting hot. That's why I'm probably gonna be both this time. A little bit hot, a little bit cold. Really interesting. How does that make sense, guys? Ask yourself, how does that make sense? That is more dangerous to you during an eclipse than normally? Maybe a magnification effect is happening, actually. It's blindingly bright. It even does this weird stuff to shadows. That it really shouldn't, but it does. I forget what it was. That's pretty much that. It's the big earthquake. 7.0 happened today. Predicted that. It's Cali one. Let's look at those. 6.0. Canada, and then I think this guy predicts stuff. He doesn't even predict it nearly as accurately as I do. And he has way more followers because they didn't sabotage. I do way more than some stupid earthquake predictions. I do a lot more than that. I control the heavens to a large degree and all kinds of stuff. Tell you ahead of time I'm gonna do it. One thing is just watch and try to explain afterwards. Another thing to do it. Tell you ahead of time and then make it happen. Two different scales of things. One really doesn't even matter to the other one. One's like a fan of the other. Whereas one, it's the whole TV show to begin with. Look at this. If I didn't do this like this, nobody be watching this video for her right now. A little bit of views she get. She's watching this all the time. Nobody really pay attention to her until now because it's different now. It's happening all the time. Just bugging out. Even at 40, you kidding me? Oh, okay, let's switch to 40. We're good. Shouldn't bug out anymore. It's because she has 60 frames per second. This thing can't really do it. Look at that, man. That's right when I increased it, man. Like, unbelievable. Amplifiers just kept increasing the whole time, man. The whole time. I wish she had looked at them at the other spectrum. It's 1142. That's really cool. 1140. Oh yeah, that 9th, yeah. That was the day I remember. Yep. Great things on the way. Unbelievable. I had to look at it myself. But that's pretty much that, y'all. Picked all kinds of stuff, doing all kinds of stuff. Guess I'll end it with that. Good one. You might want to check out the earlier fleet footage too.